With this reply letter by Ralph Goodale, who was in 2016 Canada's Minister of Public Safety and Emergency Preparedness, he replied to a video JD made on May 4, 2016 that was apprehended by CBSA at the border. JD attempted to enter Canada to spread the video, which contains all of the material information in this video. So it was addressed to Justin Trudeau, the current Prime Minister of Canada, but was handed to his second in succession. How do you think a person would respond to such serious allegations if that person could have hypothetically become the interim Prime Minister of Canada? If you're Canadian, probably not. Like this. This paragraph tells us that this letter is a direct result of the 1044 report and sixth arrest by CBSA for J.D. Connor in 3 years. These paragraphs are describing immigration regulations J.D. knows very well. Ralph Goodale states here,
Upon receipt of your correspondence, I asked CBSA officials to look into your concerns.
Wait, seriously, asking the agency that needs oversight to oversee itself. Ralph Goodale goes on to state with utter impunity,
You were subsequently found working in Canada without having received authorization in violation of subsection 29(2) of IRPA.
Wow! Just wow! JD was not found to be working in Canada. The allegation was withdrawn. Secondly, IRPA 29 is the section that covers an overstay allegation, not working in Canada without authorization. You'd think the top official of CBSA would know or even care to do some research before he issues an official statement with so many false statements. Ralph Goodale actually spoke the truth here when he states,
This process was followed by CBSA in all dealings with you.
False allegations and wrongful arrests, all ending in being unfounded or withdrawn. Yes, agreed. This paragraph rehashes the dates of past CBSA abuses of process until we get to this little nugget of information. Ralph Goodale in his own anti-democratic words.
Please note that there is no requirement for the entire subsection 29(2) of IRPA to be cited in the exclusion order.
One line to dismiss something as fundamentally based in a democratic society as informing someone of the allegations that are laid on them, especially when CBSA used the word specifically and the language of the act on paper is not specific at all. If Canada were to follow this logic, CBSA could make up any allegation it wanted to and remove people based only on the individual words they choose to select from the act. Wait, never mind. Page 2. This paragraph is directly written from the perspective of CBSA because he stated that,
I am advised that you were detained for removal, but the Immigration Division released you on conditions. You failed to comply with these conditions, and a warrant was therefore issued for your arrest.
An immigration warrant for an overstay allegation is passive. A person would have to come to the attention of law enforcement to be arrested for that warrant. What happened to JD was a targeted and organized.
It has to be done now, and it has to be done. I have to see him, basically. I need to talk to him. Otherwise, I can't guarantee any of this.
Manhunt. Here, Goodale states that JD was removed from Canada on September 16, 2014, the day after he filed his application record with the court. And then he follows the removal date with the fact that CIC would have approved JD's restoration of status application, but could not because he was forcefully removed from Canada. He goes on to say,
You suggest that you had 90 days to apply for restoration of your status, referring to subsection 182(1) of IRPA. However, you had failed to comply with a condition imposed under paragraph 185A, namely the period authorized for your stay.
This statement reflects an unacceptable amount of ignorance and or complicity. The University of British Columbia understands restoration of status. Western University Canada understands restoration of status. McGill University, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's alma mater, has an exceptionally comprehensive outline for understanding and applying for restoration of status, simply utilizing common sense practices and conclusions based in law. So it appears that Ralph Goodale does not understand the concept of one of the acts he swore to uphold. He tells JD that he should have applied to extend his status. Instead, he tried Then, Ralph Goodale goes on to say,
You could have applied for restoration of your status while in Canada, but did not.
"Are you ready for this?" This not only proves Ralph Goodale understood the applicability of restoration of status, but that he also pretended not to, in the same letter, just to benefit CBSA and its narrative. Also, this sentence proves that Goodale knew JD applied for restoration of status while in Canada and should not have been removed while waiting on a decision on his application. Ralph Goodale stated for the record,
I also understand that you returned to Canada on May 4th and 5th, 2016. Your convictions no longer made you inadmissible to Canada.
JD's minor conviction for attempt to commit theft of service under $50, which carried zero chance of receiving a jail sentence and was not equivalent to any Canadian law, somehow continuously made him highly inadmissible to enter Canada. What actually happened on those 2 days was, in his strongest bout of courage, JD outright refused to be systematically returned to the States and decided to hold CBSA to account. After 2 days of incarceration, CBSA gave up on its lies and allowed JD to enter Canada. This should serve as proof to all Canadians that democratic protest is the nemesis of tyranny. Whether you're aligned with conservatives, liberals, or any other political or non-political ideology, until Canada experiences a major shift in governmental accountability, transparency, and oversight. As a minority voice, your government leaders will ignore your concerns when you finally need to be heard. Don't believe me? Well, after all of the evidence we've presented to you in this video, and with the same information and recorded audio that Ralph Goodale had at his disposal, he callously stated,
Your complaint against the CBSA has been determined to be unfounded. I do, however, regret that your treatment was not to your satisfaction.
With that line, from one of Canada's top government officials, JD was silenced for years, and now you see in black and white how Canada's government systematically lies, hides information, commits crimes, avoids direct confrontation, and will violate the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, all to cover up for its agents and past lies. What you might have also noticed is that Goodale was very silent about a few other complaints in JD's 2016 video, like the domestic terror CBSA exhibited in relation to JD's removal, or the fact that it seems quite evident that a federal court of Canada's registrar forged and removed from public record filed documents in a successful push to silence dissent. But wait, did you just see what we did there? How could we produce a federal court stamp indicating that these application records were filed when supposedly they were never filed in the first place? That's because this stamp was made by Frank Federac, then and current Federal Court of Canada Registrar, on this original application record, stamped and marked as filed at the same time. The other two application records were also stamped as filed and deposited into the registry. You can tell that this is the original because it contains Sandra McPherson's blue Federal Court Registrar stamp, signature, and blue X, where she assisted JD in testifying to the quote, extra documents attached after the memorandum. Every signature in the application record, including Frank Federac's, are original and not copied in any way. First objective is to certify this document as the real deal. When this document is certified by no less than 3 independent forensic document examination agencies, it will prove that the Government of Canada was then, and continues to be, complicit in multiple cross-agency, federal court-level partnerships to cover up its agents' crimes and silence dissent in favor of its version of democracy.